Yo, what is up, you guys? Right now, we're at
Hey, watch this.
Oh, dude. Where did you get dressed? In the dark?
She's totally style mugging you. What? This is my persona I made last year, and I hate her outfit. So I'm gonna give her a makeover. Let's start with my style. To be honest, I wouldn't know how to describe my style. The way I think about it is however the drawing looks or turns out is my style. But in this case, style's low-key a double entendre, in a way. The outfit I'm drawing myself in is one I've actually worn. Except, I guess, the socks. I don't know where to get long socks. I want long socks for my boots so bad. But the jewelry, the clothes, the boots, even my hairstyle are all things I have in real life. You might have noticed on the old persona, the main colors were black with a pop of blue. And I kept using that, but I added on. You might have also noticed that my channel theme is brown, blue, and like a cream color. I thought using a limited color palette would make all the designs cohesive. But I also just really like these colors and was going to use them anyways. Something else I want to address is the pose. I stand like this leaning on one leg a lot, and I remember a while ago seeing so many videos about that one girl from that one K-pop survival show and the way she stands. So I referenced her, but I actually think the way I drew it kind of looks like I have to pee. But whatever, if you cover the legs, the drawing looks cute, I think. I hope. Because this will be the control drawing that I'm going to compare the other styles to see if my style, in both senses of the word, is actually trash. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I love this show. I remember watching this and The Apothecary Diaries Season 1 at like the same time, and wow, I was spoiled with OP smart women main characters. I don't know what exactly it is about this show's art style that just looks so good, and don't even get me started on the animation. When I was thinking about the outfit, I thought this sweater thingy that I thrifted looked similar to the shape of Frieren's like capelet thing. I was like, I have that shirt too kinda. And then I was looking at capelets on Pinterest and saw a lot of them had these really high-waisted skirts with buttons on the waistbands, and I thought they were so pretty. And then everyone in the main party had boots on, which was perfect because I wanted to give my character boots anyways. For the hair, I didn't want it blending in with the clothes, so I tried a bob first. It was cute, but I don't think it really fit. Then I thought about if I was in an adventure party, like I would totally have my hair in a bun. I doubt I would be powerful enough in this world to be an adventurer. Maybe this is me like walking in the background when the main party goes through town. Ever After High. One of my strongest memories from childhood was when there was a hurricane, so all my siblings and I slept downstairs in the living room, but I guess the rain woke me up at like 12:30 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, so I rewatched the first episode of Ever After High on my Kindle Fire. And for whatever reason, I got so scared when it showed Raven's Destiny, that's all I could think about for a while. Good thing I did, because I probably would have forgotten about this show, but now I get to draw myself as an Ever After High character. So for this one, I also started with a piece of clothing I have, but it did not fit in this world. Then I thought about which fairy tale character would I be the daughter of. I did think of Shrek, but he already has a teenage daughter in the upcoming movie. Then I thought Donkey and Dragon could be cool. I know they have kids, but what if they had a human daughter? I think this idea has good potential, but I couldn't really execute it quite right. Then I shifted to which Disney character isn't in Ever After High, and I was like, oh yes, Elsa, my superhero. At first I was referencing Anna's and Elsa's dresses, but it still didn't feel right. So I really looked at the Ever After High girls, and their outfits really look like J fashion. So I wanted to lean into that, and I know the cold doesn't bother her, but I really wanted to lean into the winter aesthetic. My mind went straight to fuzzy shawl, and then that led to fuzzy poncho. I took inspiration from the ponchos and shoes of the girls I saw on Pinterest. The design elements of Ever After High I made sure to include were things like a hair accessory, textured hair with different colors, layered ruffled skirts, and tights. And also just so much detail, like the designs on the poncho and the tights. For the poncho design, I copied a design on one of Elsa's dresses, I think from a special or something. And for the tights, I wanted it to kind of look like flourishes, is it called? You know, the swirlies that Elsa's magic does, since my character is doing the Elsa magic pose. But I guess she has no magic. My Little Pony. So I say I grew up watching My Little Pony, but I don't think I actually watched past season 4, but I still love My Little Pony. My favorite has always been Rarity, but getting back into the show, Twilight is also one of my favorites now. So, since my favorites are both of the unicorns in the main 6, I made myself a unicorn. For the hair, I took inspo from Rainbow Dash, because she's Filipino. I'm just kidding, I don't know if that's true, but I felt it in my bones when I saw her Equestria Girls design. Then I made myself blue because that's my favorite color. Now for the cutie mark, I wasn't sure for a while because I like to draw, but I like other mediums. I like art, but I have other hobbies. But some cutie marks aren't even about hobbies. Then I thought, throughout drawing, other hobbies, and just living, what is always the same? I'm always wearing a fedora. No, but I saw some hat cutie marks and I thought it would be funny. My fedora in real life is not brown, but I need some color variation. The style was surprisingly easy to draw considering horses are regarded as one of the hardest subjects to draw or animate, maybe both. Call me James Baxter. Equestria girls. This is where the 6'7" comes from because I'm not sure if this counts as a whole different art style from the regular My Little Pony. I'll leave that up to you. So I didn't actually watch these movies until last month when I was drawing all of these, and wow, I was missing out. The only thing I didn't like was Flash, Sentry, and Twilight Sparkle. Like, okay, they bumped into each other and then stood there and blushed a couple times. And sure, they danced and he missed her, but what else? They just had a crush on each other, they were in love. But I suppose the rarity in Applejack in these movies makes up for it. Speaking of Applejack, I thought her denim skirts were so cute, and I happen to actually have a medium-length denim skirt that I love. Then I pair that with a shirt I love. And you might notice my sandwich method. That was not on purpose. My real shirt is black, I just didn't want the hair and shirt to blend, so I made it brown. The color palette is limited anyways. The Equestria Girls design elements I made sure to include were big boots, the cutie mark, and to slightly whitewash myself. Don't know what that's about, but I think this design is so cute! Like, yes, this is what I would look like in an alternate universe where I go to high school. Littlest Pet Shop. LPS was such a huge part of my childhood. If I didn't move a bunch of times, I would still have my bin of LPS. I miss them so much. As for the show, I don't remember a lot. I remember when the main girl was on like Skype with her friend and said something like, she gives me the heebie-jeebies, and her friend's like, I do not give the heebie-jeebies. I also remember that I hated that bunny that would always say, anywho. Now that I think about it, Pinkie Pie has always been my least favorite pony, and that bunny was probably just like her. No shade, I totally see the appeal of Pinkie Pie, I just have some sort of preference against both of them. Okay, I'm editing this, and I think I started hating Pinkie Pie after I saw the Cupcakes animation, I think that's what it was called, but I still don't know what I had against the bunny. I don't think I put too much thought into this design. I saw that the outfit of the friend had shorts over like capri leggings, which I think is super cute, but I went for tights. And at this point, I'd been itching to give a character like 3/4 sleeves, and I thought high top Converse would not only fit the design, but also me, because I wear them almost every single day in high school. I also wanted to include the one LPS I actually kept. It's the very first one I got. My best friend in like first grade gave it to me, but I kind of hate how I drew her. The actual toy is really cute. But whatever, now I get to be with my day one LPS. Alien Stage. I love when a show is based around music, and the music from Alien Stage is so good. The series is so amazing and has inspired me so much. I knew there was a reason I looked up at this art because I struggled quite a bit. I had up the wiki pages for each of the main, 6 characters? Yo, wait, say that again? Anyways, their poses had some sort of movement, so I made her walking kinda, and the long hair was so flowy. It reminds me of Hanekyu. And each character was wearing either white or black. I'm not sure if there's some meaning behind that because I haven't consumed all Alien Stage media. I think there's a comic, but I chose black. I wasn't worried about the hair and dress blending because the black hair in Alien Stage is pure black. I went through a few designs of the dress. I think I wanted a super long dress so that I wouldn't have to draw the legs, which ironically are one of my favorite parts of this drawing. But I decided on this slightly shorter dress that's partly inspired by my junior year prom dress. Mainly the sleeves. In real life I wore a flowy shawl, but in the drawing I just made them sleeves. And for the shoes I did Mary Jane's. I forget why, but I think they're so cute. Also, I liked that I had to put a microphone in the design because I had no idea what to do with the arms. Something I would change if I felt like revising the drawing would probably be the hair. I don't know, I think it looks a little stiff, or maybe I made the hair too voluminous? Other than that, I like the dress shading and the shoes. Powerpuff Girls. My memory of the show was with my cousin who's only 9 years older than me. I mentioned to her that I watched the show and she said something like, wow, that show's still going on, and I was like, wow, the show's that old? I promise I didn't mean it that way. But to be honest, the main reason I wanted to do this art style was because I miss new jeans. They're also why I chose brown as my color. I wanted to do blue because that's my favorite color, but with my hair, it would look exactly like Minji. Speaking of the hair, I know black hair in the show and in new jeans is pure black, but I didn't do that for some reason. I still think the dark gray looks nice though. I remember I tried to draw a Powerpuff Girl back in the day and I failed so bad I gave up. But look at me now. Now that I have all these outfit options, let's redesign my persona. The reason I started a lot of these designs with clothes I have in real life is that I want my persona to wear something I could wear in real life, so that if I ever face reveal, I can wear the outfit like Emirichu. And yeah, the outfit is literally just the Equestria Girls outfit. So this was supposed to be the 10 art style challenge, but school and work made this take forever. It's been so long, my bangs don't even do that thing I keep drawing. They actually stay behind my ears now. But I thought 6 or perhaps 7 art styles is probably good enough. It could have definitely been 7 if I included my Princess Jellyfish drawing, but It kind of scares me every time I look at it. I also had a wheel to choose from me. Probably should have shown you guys. But that also means I have so much more options to do this again when I'm less busy if you guys would be interested. Like I want to do one that's based on video games or the art styles of artists I follow, or even just more shows. Who knows, I might end up hating this outfit by next year.